Alright, chat. 4-color vehicles, cars, whatever you want to call it. We're a base Mardu deck with a small green splash for Esika's Chariot. We cast this Esika's Chariot off of treasure tokens as well as learning for environmental sciences to fish up our forest, but we can also just use these cards to loot this into the bin to then bring it back into play with Greasefang to attack and then generate a bunch of power. A kind of nut straw with this deck allows you to get this into the bin on turn 2, and then on turn 3 you play this, bring it back, and then get to attack with it, making a bunch of power to leave behind, which is kind of sweet. We're trying out a couple of Ob Nixilis in the deck. I'm not sure if this actually solves problems that we have, but it's kind of cute that you can copy the Ob Nixilis tokens with Chariot, and we also have a few different things that we don't mind sacrificing, such as the Chariot before it bounces back to our hand. So let's go ahead and pop on into some matches with this and see how it goes. We are going to be poking at Marvel Snap for the first time on stream after we play some Magic today. We're going to do that this afternoon instead of Pokemon Unite. I got an invite to their closed beta late last night. That seems like something that's fun and that people are interested in. We will, seems like something fun and that people are interested in. We'll be able to have it as part of the content on the regular. Out of the frying pan and into the Esper, as expected in this format. Professor, plus use a blood token to rummage a land here, I think. Let's grab the Mascot Exhibition for down the line. My understanding is I was the second round of beta invites they sent out last night, Rhino, so I assume they're going to continue inviting more people as they scale up, making sure their servers can handle things. That's usually the most important part about early software testing, is making sure their infrastructure can handle the load. Are we dead, chat? Feeling kind of dead. Powering up both these. You're about to see a big attack. We are. Okay. You'll draw 4, discard 4. This card's so good. Guess we'll bin these. Maybe I'm supposed to bin Chariot, assuming that we could draw the Greasefang. We're just gonna die to this in the air, right? Alright, so I probably need to retool my removal a little bit in this deck. I have one piece of spot removal that kills their 1/4 at the moment, so that's not great. The Vanishing Verses obviously don't kill it, but they're still coming in here, I think. This does not seem very good against their deck that's just going to be attacking me a bunch. I think we need to probably make this an Infernal Grasp in the main deck and probably get some Rays in the sideboard for this matchup. Probably want to set up to grind here a little bit. This is fine, because this can grab me an Environmental Sciences to fish up a swamp. Yeah, the range of hands that the Esper deck is capable of having is definitely one of the strongest things about it. It's a really good summary. Sometimes it just like beats you down like it did us in that last game, and then other times it just like, you know, goes really long and grindy. It feels very difficult to be able to account for both lose conditions. I was complaining about this pooper on Discord chat, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm still annoyed in my brain, so we're gonna complain about them here live on Twitch too. Speak of the devil, I had someone in my YouTube comments this morning let me know that me hoping that Meathook Massacre gets nerfed in Alchemy is just because I always want something nerfed and there'll always be another card to complain about. And then they went on to compare Meathook Massacre to a 6-mana 4/4, saying that eventually we'd complain about a 6-mana 4/4. Basically what I'm trying to say is Magic players were an incredible mistake and they're the worst part about making content. Wow, no Emperor, deal. Man, these Vanishing Verses look real bad, huh? Okay. We have a text box at least. Okay, so we're gonna draw, and then before I get chapter 2 on the saga, we'll go ahead and we'll Deadly Dispute to dig a little deeper. Look, chat, I know I just discarded 2 lands, but like, I know I just discarded 2 lands, but like, I had 6 draws to find another land, chat. 6 draws. I'm confident discarding the 2 lands was correct. Good God, Magic the Gathering. For the 34 months, May Stun, welcome back. Appreciate it. Negate in my future. There is not, God bless. Maybe is afraid Emperor here. Sometimes lucky, chat. Sometimes lucky. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Epicure here, because then they would need a land to Meathook my 5/4. Yeah. I think that was wrong. Yeah, I should have played this to get the extra counter down. So I can, no, it's active player, non-active player. So our Meathooks would negate each other. How about we discard the Chariot, and then we bring the Chariot back And we can attack with these. And then we can Surgehacker Mech to finish Lisa after.
Are you enraptured by my beauty? A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Bye, friends. Do 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 do.
I will do what I demand.
Do what I demand. We aren't supposed to leave the Epicures in because they allow Bloodtithe Harvester to kill their 1/4. I guess their 1/4 grows out of range pretty quickly. Yeah, I was gonna leave how we sideboarded. Sweeper being a finisher is so dumb, dude. Brr. Lynchworthy, one of the OGs. Thank you for the 6 years and some change. Welcome back. They strike me as someone whose dojo contains Spear Chip. I'm gonna ask that we stay off the topic of school shootings here while I'm live. If you want my plenty of opinions on the topic, my Twitter is full of them. There's a politics channel in the subs Discord where we've been talking about it. But I'm gonna, just to be blunt, I don't feel like sitting here being pissed off all morning, which is what it's gonna lead to. I don't have anything actionable. You want something actionable? Midterms are coming up. There are a lot of primary elections going on around the country right now. Find out when your state's primaries are and make sure you vote in that. and are registered to vote for the midterms in the fall. Vote out every person, regardless of what letter is next to their name, if they take money from the NRA. It's not Chariot here. I feel like I'm gonna get counterspelled, but I also am gonna have to run into the counterspell at some point. This one, get it being the one getting counterspelled is like pretty reasonable for us. Because we can bring it back with Greasefang. Yeah, four Vanishing Verse is definitely not the play in this deck anymore, with this being a card that we care about. Last season, 4 Vanishing Verse was the play. Definitely needs to change. Shaggy Potter, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
You require my aid. Aren't I generous?
Think I want to trade these here. This is the canned drink I had yesterday morning. Good old-fashioned V8.
A pity our time is over.
Yeah, Grasp, and a couple of Ray of Enfeeblements go a long way in this matchup. Ray of Enfeeblement's one of the very few cards that trades tempo positive with this. Valorous Stance is an okay shout. Yeah, maybe we want some of those. I can see that. There's plenty of Goldspan Dragons running around. This Stance is obviously good against. Well, that's annoying. All right, I guess we're killing that to start, huh? And unfortunately, I can't cast this Chariot. Sucks, but it is. Okay, solid turn. Got me. Resolves. Even if they Meathook us here, we're still in a pretty good spot, right? Because we get to gas back up afterwards. I assume we're exiling my Greasefang.
You're just underwhelming. You are not much of a roadblock.
Looks like nice and lethal to me. Actually didn't feel terrible. We kinda ground them a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna cut all the verses. I just don't think this is a 4-verse format, Tumos. 2 to 3 is fine. I think I want like plus 2 to 3 answers to the 1-4. I definitely don't want to cut all the verses. Because you're correct. It plays in that matchup. Tagging their wedding announcements before they can get going is reasonable with it a lot of the time. So I think like this power word kill probably needs to be something else. I think we just like main deck a Grasp, and then probably cut this other verse from the board. That's why I like to remind people, Punchworthy. Not only should you remember to double check your voter registration if you moved recently, but you should check it anyways just to make sure you weren't purged from the voter roll due to wonderful voter suppression practices that are pretty common. Alright, so I added an Infernal Grasp #2, Electric Boogaloo, a Valorous Stance, and a Ray of Enfeeblement. For more answers to the 1/4. It's four of those. And sometimes I was like the game we just played, we could just race them, but I think 4 answers in our 75 is probably a good place to be. Chat, I'm really tired today. I was like all set up to go to bed at a reasonable hour last night, and then I got the email for the Marvel Snap beta at like 10:30, and then it was suddenly 12:30 before I went to bed. It stole my sleep. The actual gameplay is really good, Mr. 3000. It's nice. It's easily the quickest, punchiest card game I've ever touched, which is fantastic. In the current beta that they have, there isn't a way to pay to accelerate card acquisition. So I have to assume that that's something we're gonna see happen in the future. But it doesn't currently, so we gotta grind a little bit. Oh, punish, chat, and now they're gonna kill my treasure maker too. Should have believed in hitting the Greasefang. Oh, rude. Oh, thank you, kind friend. I appreciate you. Worked out better than expected. Oh, they wanted to hold the gate up? Sure. It's so weird to you that people can be randomly purged from voting records. It becomes less weird when you realize that happens because there's an entire political party in the United States that runs on wildly unpopular things. So when people are easily able to vote, they have a hard time winning elections. Are we winning? Well, we're playing against Esper for the second time in a row for what I assume will be 6 Esper matchups this morning, so maybe. I don't think I play this using the treasure token because I want the green mana to cast this other Chariot from hand. The way decks are structured in Marvel Snap, I have to imagine is going to make the game very affordable. Because the decks are only 12 cards, and they're all singleton. So it feels like it's difficult for 12 card all singleton to like be too expensive. Kind of a fantastic sequence for us. Like, Reflection of the Kiki Jiki is a hell of a drug, champ. Just to emphasize my point, Tumos, have you seen Rick Scott's platform for things he says the Republican Party should want to do should they gain control of things? It's stuff like getting rid of Medicare and Social Security. Like those things are objectively wildly unpopular. The GOP only maintains a voter base at all through having very targeted specific things like gun control and abortion. The only reason they maintain any semblance of power is single issue voters and leaning into culture wars and owning the libs. I have not done research into Illinois candidates just yet, but I honestly, I think I would have a hard time voting against anyone other than voting. I think I would have a hard time voting against Pritzker in our primary election. And for what it's worth, I did not vote for Pritzker in the primary that he ran in the first time because he was not the most progressive candidate on the ballot, but he has far exceeded my expectations when it comes to managing things here. He's done an excellent job with everything related to COVID. And a lot of things not related to COVID, honestly. Oh, sweet, we drew another one of these, so if they go to kill this, I just get the other one back. I assume there's an Emperor here. They can exile this. They go to 13. They take 10. They go to 3.
And I will protect my people.
And we can play Surgehacker Mech post-combat to finish off their Planeswalker.
I am almost sad to see you go.
It might have been right to fire up the Hive with the Eye Tyrant here. I'm going to be honest, I didn't actually count how things were going to line up, and Hive would have been lethal through the Emperor. Alright, another Esper matchup. I feel like I should try some different things with sideboarding in this matchup to try and figure out exactly what I want to be doing. I think Ob Nixilis is pretty bad on the draw. Yeah, I mean, Chariot's so good, right? Like, these two cards make this deck. Like, they're just both super individually powerful cards that allow you to just, like, pull your way kicking and screaming through games. I think this is it. I feel like I should try and fit Reckoner Bankbuster into here, but I also don't feel like I have anything I could cut. How do I feel about Bankbuster versus Surgehacker Mech? There's value to having my curve be lower when I have Showdown in my deck. This doesn't kill that much. They tend to go wide, so the menace is less relevant. This does finish off Emperor and Lulth, though, after they downtick, which is nice. That's close. I'm gonna try Bankbuster and see how it feels. They're both pretty bad against their super aggressive draws. All right, let's draw a black source. Feels Magic the Gathering, man. Boarded in a bunch of answers to this, have the wrong answer in my hand when it comes down. Oof. Oof. They brought in Ray of Enfeeblement as well. That makes sense. It's an efficient answer to Greasefang. I'm going to go ahead and rummage my Meathook Massacre here, I think. Although maybe I'm supposed to save that for Deadly Dispute. I'm going to attack with this. If they want to Emperor me, we'll just Deadly Dispute. 4 mana, actually no plays. Wild. They must have a counter spell or two here, right? I think I want a Deadly Dispute, because if this eats a counterspell, then Showdown is likely to resolve. And then when this doesn't eat a counterspell, we just get to Deadly Dispute again. The fact that the first dispute enables a second, I was so wrong about this card. I did not think that this card would end up being better than Village Rites, and boy was I wrong. So, I could Professor discard the Chariot, but it definitely feels like they have a, removal spell here, so I don't think I want to do that. It's a $5 common. Oh, Paper Magic is such a stain, shit. Leaper. But yet massacred here. Hopefully they won't have another Ray of Enfeeblement and then we can Greasefang them. Because we'll be able to ditch this off of the chapter 2 here. Yeah, we're going to start Marvel Snap sometime between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, Leapert. My plan. I do this. And Vanishing Verse, one of these. Because this lets me take their Planeswalker out of play, but also get rid of a little bit of their pressures. That way I'm hopefully not losing the race.
The light is insufferable. My will cannot be denied.
This bouncing back to our hand is, it's almost like Meathook insurance in a way. It's like, okay, I have this threat left over after the fact. And we get 5 looks and an answer to this next turn. We have 2 Infernal Grasps and a Valorous Stance. Need to close the door out on this one soon, though. Otherwise, it's killing us in 2 attacks. Oh, I have an answer in my sideboard. Almost forgot. The problem here is our life total's super low, so we might die to this Meathook Massacre long term. So next turn, we can Reflection the Professor to give us a body to discard to... Give us a body to discard to the Necrotic Fumes. And then... I have environmental sciences. Gains me life. Yeah, I should attack first, for sure. I don't think I can get in trouble for waiting to gain 2 here. Oh, I'm dead to Blitz. Fuck. Oh, I'm gonna blame chat for that one. They tucked me into attacking. Yeah, I think we win this game if I just don't attack there. Damn it, chat. Wait, I think we win that game if I don't attack there. That's close, though. Bankbuster felt okay there. It was real close considering we didn't have a clean answer for their card for a long time and it kind of ran unchecked. It's again just the power of the Esper deck, right? It's got so much aggression while also being able to grind really well. So it's hard to fight it on both axes at the same time. I think we probably get there if I don't mess up that attack. Well, you need second red, right? But I also don't need third white. Sprint is so good. Speaking of so good, they do have access to Ray of Enfeeblement, though. Hopefully they just play their 1/4. You're 1/4 and attack me for 4. Come on, opponent. Okay. These are a few of my favorite things. I think the second Fable might have been wrong there. Perhaps I'm just supposed to save that for another way to get these back into the bin down the line. They're playing a null, which seems really brutal against us. We have so many enchantments and artifacts we need to resolve that are expensive. They're also playing Spell Pierce. Gross. Putting this to a 3, so he could just be getting meat hooked for 2 here. If they don't have untapped blue, we get to Showdown at least, which can maybe help us make this up. Like a Vanishing Verse or removal spell would be great here. Sure. Stance plays. No attacks here. I think if they attack, I want to block. We've got a lot of value built up here, so I'm ready to go long. Just want to play defensively here. This is going away at end of turn. I think we cash it in. Doe Smasher, thank you for the 37 months. Welcome back. Yeah, we're in a bit of trouble. What's going on, Zer? Thanks for hanging out for 3 years. Good morning, good morning. Our opponent's deck is really good when they draw half as many lands as we do. Turns out 4 lands, all gas is pretty good shit. This is where the magic happens. And I can't attack and kill Sora because we die on the backswing. No, stop it, Tumos. We're not losing this game so we don't have green mana. We're losing this game because our opponent drew 4 lands and all spells and we flooded out.
Very well.
We also wouldn't even be playing this game if I had taken the better line in game 2. Making knee-jerk changes to your deck when you both got unlucky and made mistakes in the first game is like not a good way to approach deck building. Thanks for the Bragto Smasher. Alright, we done this. Meathook Massacre is so fucking dumb. Alright, chat, we finally made it low enough that we found a non-Esper deck. We've made it to the Delver of Secrets bracket. I'll play around Jawari Disruption, I think. Gotta kill their threats here. The May monthly finals are Saturday afternoon for EU and NA. They have a tech rehearsal tomorrow afternoon and a check-in this afternoon to make sure they're happy with the backdrop setup. This is why it's up already. So these two let us play around their Quench. And then after this resolves, we can use the blood to, well, shit. We're just chilling for now. We rotate every other matchup through the course of each of the 2 separate finals Duck Doolittles, with the asterisk that whoever commentates the grand finals of EU also does the first match of NA, because I like to give 1 grand finals to each casting pair. We are into the Snap beta. They rolled out more invites last night. We'll be doing that this afternoon instead of Unite. Spent about an hour and a half playing it last night, and a half hour playing it this morning. Seems pretty good. I think my actual only complaint about the game after playing it for 2 hours is the fact that they refuse to take my money to give me cards faster. No, we cast them live. Pokemon Unite's a real esport, so it has a full spectator client where we get to watch the matches as they happen. The broadcast, because the broadcast is happening remotely, I believe is delayed 3 to 5 minutes to all of you at home. So that way, players can't be like watching the stream to gain an unfair advantage. Yeah, so there's actually, there's 2 different parts to the spectator client for Pokemon Unite. There's a tournament spectator mode where you can load in as an admin. You can load in as an admin and like watch the match in real time, but you could also spectate just top players playing their matches or people on your friends list on a 2-minute delay by just clicking the spectate button from the menu in the client. It's pretty robust for how small, or how early the client is in development. I mean, the opponent's deck is like being annoying, but they're not winning the game, right? It's just like whatever. Sure, you've bounced my thing for the 3rd time. I will continue generating blood tokens. Sure. Okay, this is definitely an all Doomblades on deck matchup. I don't know if this constitutes a Doomblade, though. It probably doesn't in this matchup. Oh, a spell resolved. Yes, we're done here. For a couple deadly disputes, because it's not great to counter spells. Yeah, Nintendo doesn't make Unite. Nintendo is produced by Timmy Studios, Timi. They make some other MOBAs. This backdrop really gives elevator going up vibes as you watch it. Like, go up behind me. It's a video game, it's a Nintendo, fair. So, the problem with Archon is that only being able to cast 1 spell per turn into the counterspell deck is really not good. So I think Archon's pretty mediocre. Well, depending on what their curve looks like, this could be a turn 2 Professor, rummage the Chariot, play Greasefang on 3. So remember, when you learn chat, you can just discard a card to draw a card. Okay, I think with the Delver on 1 and them holding mana up, I'd rather just let the Vanishing Verses happen. So we're doing this on their upkeeps. That way, if they have a counter spell to protect their threat, they're using the mana on their turn cycle instead of on my turn cycle. I have been disrupted. Are we the baddies? No, I'm playing 4-color Greasefang in Standard. This is standard. This is not Explorer. We're not the baddies in this format. In other formats, we'd be the baddies, but here we are decidedly the good guy. Alright, chat, I lied. We're the bad guy. Cast Meathook Massacre. We're losing the race, and they drew a card. They drew a card they think is better than phasing things out. What's going on, Win? Thank you for the 27 months. Welcome back. Chip and Dale's Rescue Ranger movie. It's not an IP I am familiar with. What was their card that was better than phasing something out? Yeah, it could be some kind of negate. We technically have them dead, assuming no interaction, but they have to have something, right? They played a bunch of Fading Hopes. Gotta imagine that's what this is. They could just have another March of Swirling Mist, but I feel like they would have phased this out last turn instead of letting me get the Chariot going to begin with. I want you to reflect on how close that game was when they played Delver turn 1 on the play and then had infinite disruption. There's just like one turn out from dead. Alright, so I can't cast Grasp currently, but we've got some redraws here, and double removal is good to start in this matchup, so definitely a keepable hand here. those who get their chip shots in nice and early here. Epicure is a lot like Delver of Secrets in a way, chat. It just doesn't give you the illusion that it could ever be something more. Like, this is like an honest Delver of Secrets. He doesn't lie to you. You gonna bounce my Epicure? It's strictly better Delver because it gives you a bonus 1 damage. Yeah, basically. Yep. Fading Hope resolves. Deal Reno. For power in play, mono blue deck. I'm ever resolving this Chariot, so let's rummage this to trade into land drop. Hey, Daniels, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Open on Infernal Grasp and see what they do. Hexproof. Rude. I don't want to play my Harvester into a Jawari Disruption, but I think I'm okay with Professor running into Jawari Disruption. I didn't want to play Sciences this turn. In fact, I'm probably discarding the Sciences to a Blood token. If we're being honest with ourselves. This is better as a random different card. Am I pulling the trigger on this right now? Nah, I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, this is Bloodtithe Harvester as sorcery speed. We'll try and force these Vandals off the board, and then if they tap out to protect them, we can stick Fable the Mirrorbreaker, which will be nice. Yeah, Harvester's already pretty good even at sorcery speed. Big agree. With the 5th land drawn, I think I might wait to play this until I can play around their Quench. Oh, they no longer have that. I don't think I play around Spell Pierce. I haven't seen that out of them yet. And then this is definitely getting cashed in for a different card with the blood token. We're down to 7, and we just have so much power in play now. Like, could have a null. Yeah, but like, we're just gonna have to run into a null at some point, so there's not really any merit in playing around it, because we can't. Leaving up 1 mana for something like that is pretty trivial. Ooh, piece of candy. Nah, I'm good. I don't think my hand gets better. Discard 0 is such a flex, dude. Yeah, bud, your thing lives, but you don't. Kill you with my sweeper. I have a treasure token to play around, Pierce. The old sweeper lethal, a Magic classic at this point. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. When I get back, we're gonna play some more of this, and we're gonna play some Explorer. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is turn 3 attack with Chariot. Tapped land, Epicure, untapped land, loot, turn 3. This is the old nuts draw, chip. You see, we've seen this deck grind games out a number of times now. This is the, we're gonna run you over. They have interaction. I believe the audacity of this opponent, chat. Trying to interact with us. This is actually a great draw into a counterspell here. So nice, we'll cast it twice.
I'm the new boss around here. Join me or die. My goons will make quick work of you.
Get 'em, goons! It's the Goon Squad. Alright, so opponent messed up here. They could have killed that in response to me down-ticking this one.
My entertainment.
Yeah, they're almost assured I'd leave the Storm deck. I agree. Gonna try and run them OVER here. We are certainly the beatdowns, chat. Actually gonna copy the double token in case they sweep the board.
Defy me, and you'll lose everything.
I was gonna say, they're casting a draw spell, so they're dead, right? So that's what that means. Alright, Valorous Stance and Grasp definitely come in. Ob Nixilis is great there. Meathook Massacre is bad. Surgehacker Mech's effect isn't very good. Check for Trap seems great. I don't know that I want the third Vanishing Verse. Archon is good if they're Storm. That's true, but we don't know that they're the Storm deck, right? And if I preemptively boarding an Archon is kind of medium if they're not the Storm deck, because it's actually not great into counterspells. Yeah, I think this is a sweet standard deck. Someone in the subs Discord has said they've been playing an Esper variation of this deck as well and having success with that. So maybe we'll try that at some point too. Yeah, you get to play Ledger Shredder and you get to play the One Fork and Hive Idiot. Both just very good cards. We play this tapped. Let me play this on black. Cast this. Yes, you can sack Chariot post-combat to Ob Nixilis, yes. You can also copy Ob Nixilis tokens with Chariot. Are we casting Chariot this game or trying to cheese it? Because I could Professor into search up green land here. I also just have treasures from this, right? I think we're casting Chariot. Because if they kill this and deny me the treasure, we just Professor and go get the forest. I think we just go ahead and jam this here. I believe the tokens enter with loyalty equal to what they were casualtied for, but I actually don't know offhand. Don't quote me on that. Anybody in chat know? Is it the amount you casualtied for or just 3? What's the amount you casualtied for? Okay, sweet. Drive over their face. We're trying, Jelly Bean. We're trying. Like to attempt to kill your dragon. Not likely to work, but we gotta try. Okay. Okay. We take those. Hey, Nixie Bet. Thanks for the almost 2 years. Welcome back. It shall be a magma opus. Chat, the only people complaining about treasures in Magic the Gathering is Commander players, and they play a format where Soul Ring is legal, so they should shut up and use their Rule 0, okay? If you ain't happy with the cards your friends in Commander are playing, Rule 0 that shit or go do something else. We are just, like, actually the unluckiest when it comes to these showdowns today. Just constantly working off. Fortunate that that is 2 colors. And to answer your question more directly rather than complaining about complainers, I actually love the designs with treasures in Magic the Gathering. I think it's really sweet that we've had not only have non-permanent ramp, but also ramp that's accessible to a wider spectrum of the color wheel. I agree with 3 Spot. The treasures is one of the best designs the last several years. They're an absolute home run. Completely agree. Completely agree. So I just need to cast a bunch of spells here, right? For a showdown to work? I can only cast 2, though. If I oh, wait. I can rummage this chariot. That doesn't really give me extra power, though, right? I can rummage the chariot, and then if I hit a land on the rummaged chariot, I can cast a 3rd spell. Ooh, that also lets me cast a 3rd spell, right? Oh, but if I do this, I then can't crew this chariot. I think I can just kill them, right? Because we do this. Oh, they're gonna have the... Oh, shoot, they have a Jawari disruption. Yeah, so we attack with this, copy the blood token, they have to trade, and then Bloodtithe Harvester eats the other one. And then even if they have a sweeper to clean things up here after I have another showdown in hand and a Fable, plus a Deadly Dispute to gas back up with. Speedwagon, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. I'm doing well. Got into the Marvel Snap beta last night, so we're gonna play some of that this afternoon. They have enough mana to magma opus me again, shit. The Deadly Dispute here will be pretty good because we can sacrifice one of the things that they're going to kill and cast it off of the 2 lands that they're tapping. Me too, Choice. Thanks for the 31 months. Welcome back. Well, that's a great draw. The grind on this deck is just super impressive, huh? No, chat, this is standard. I'm the good guy. Greasefang. Greasefang is the good guy in standard. Do I even play anything? I don't think I do, right? Because they kind of need a sweeper as is. We just chill. Is Greasefang the bad guy in other formats? Yeah, it's a tier 1 deck in Explorer, probably the best deck, and it's likely good in Pioneer as well, but I haven't played formal Pioneer to really know. It brings back Parahelion in that format, which is really obnoxious. We could die here in theory, right? Okay, step 1 did not die. Deal. They could have had blue March there to live another turn and potentially kill us on their untap. It's good in Pioneer, but not the best deck. Okay, so it's just competitive there. Yeah, that was an impressive game for a deck. This was my favorite deck before this most recent set came out. I'm glad it still feels reasonable. Neat mix of like strong aggro draws and the ability to grind people out still. I mean, Parahelion 2 is busted when you get to attack with it on turn 3 without paying its mana cost. It's like aggressively middling normally. We're gonna go grab Environmental Sciences here, which fishes up our 1 forest to cast these chariots. It is an unremarkable 8 mana card. Exactly. I will say I like not having random tearing around the edges of my hand with no green screen up. Isn't too bad because I don't move around that much, but no green screen looks a little cleaner in that aspect, I think. try to kill one of my creatures. Thank you. We might be dead, chat. We might be dead on their untap here. Oh, they didn't have 4th red for Invoke. Now they have 4th red for Invoke, but they didn't last turn. Maybe I'm supposed to grab the removal spell there, actually. Am I dead yet? Survey says they didn't rummage, so I assume we're dead. Well, if they don't have the Kazul's Fury right away, the sorcery speed removal can be relevanting. I know, like, my opponent's always going to have it right away, but like, I promise you they don't always have it. If you're unlucky like I am, they're gonna get you, but on average, they're not always gonna get to do it. Oh, this stops Invoke, right? Because you cast the copies? Yeah, it does. Sick. Good beats. Good beats. Oh, yikes. Apparently, the Marvel Snap devs currently have no plans to allow you to directly purchase cards. Which seems bad. We're still gonna poke at it, but like requiring people to grind an incredible amount, or even a nominal amount of grind, I think is kind of bad. No, there's no booster packs. Yeah, Runeterra did that first and then pivoted off of it, so hopefully they will follow a similar pattern. Yeah, Runeterra used to severely limit how you could develop your collection and then moved away from that because it just doesn't make sense. So hopefully they'll do something similar. It's not even about just whaling, chat. Like, from a non-whale perspective, imagine the game exists a year from now and you're trying to convince your friends that they should start playing this new card game, but you're like, oh, by the way, you're gonna be a year behind me and you can literally never catch up because you can't accelerate your progress in any way. That's the real problem. It's actually less of an issue right at release. So Magic? No, Magic lets you buy cards. I'm not talking about free-to-play chat. Free-to-play players are always behind. I'm talking about having the ability to pay money to accelerate your collection or get specific cards. So someone said Marvel Snap might not have enough cards. Chat, I'm gonna let you in on a dirty little secret about Magic the Gathering and the number of Magic the Gathering cards. How many Magic the Gathering cards are actually playable, chat? Really think hard about it. Look at, I know there's this really big number of cards that they release every set to make it seem like Magic sets are huge. But most of them aren't worth looking at, right? You're gonna draft with them and then you're gonna throw them away. If you boil down how many cards are like constructed playable in the average Magic the Gathering set, Magic sets are actually pretty tiny. Are you talking about actually playable or Delver playable? I mean, even if you look at the Delver playable cards, most aren't, like, there aren't that many even that are Delver playable, right? Like, how many Colossal Dreadnoughts are there in the average set? Also, one of the things that I thought was a really good insight from a game design perspective from the Snap developers is their decks are only 12 cards, but they're singleton. And if you think about that in comparison to the average Magic deck, the average Magic deck only has 9 different spells in it if you're playing 24 lands and 9 4-ofs. So in reality, they get basically as much card variety into a deck with only 12 cards because of the singleton and no resources and deck aspect as you do in Magic with a much larger deck size requiring you to collect a lot more cards. Does this smell like an Invoke Sweeper to anybody else? It smells like an Invoke Sweeper. We just passed now, right? So we died. That's cool. It's cool. No big deal. It's a super interesting game. There was some back and forth. Both players tried hard. Was it fun, chat? It was fun. Miserable game. they actually didn't do anything, but we failed to linear them. They killed one of our cards. They killed one of our cards. Oh, fire design. Oh, fire design. So all this deck seemed fine. It was able to grind with the Esper deck, which felt good. I don't know how I feel about Standard in general. Standard's been kind of middling all week. I'm gonna give it one more shot tomorrow, but while I liked this deck, I've definitely enjoyed playing Explorer more on average this past week, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I might just, like, bounce off a Standard and we'll poke at Alchemy when we get new cards for that next week and just focus on Explorer in the meantime. Fire design for people that are new to Magic was Wizards of the Coast fundamentally changed the way they approach designing Magic cards with the set War of the Spark. And it caused a shift throughout all of Magic's formats and how the average gameplay plays out. The end result of fire design was that attacking and blocking by and large became a lot less good because answers were scaled up more readily than threats were. Games of Magic post fire design play to the board a lot less than they did pre fire design. So the combat step is less relevant.